going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers Masterpiece review, and today we're taking a look at the Masterpiece Trax, and he is like a late 70s, maybe early 80s Corvette. I'm pretty sure it's late 70s, like 78-ish. Yeah, he is blue, just like Trax, and he's pretty awesome. I mean, he rolls, he does everything he's supposed to in car mode, including his flight mode. But we'll take a little look at this, and very nice paint apps on this guy, just really stellar. The only thing I think that a small gripe I have was I wish that these windows were painted silver inside, or black even. I don't really like seeing robot bits through it, but it's really a small little gripe here. The bottom is fairly clean too. Obviously you can see his wings, and probably I guess what would be his feet. I say I guess, but I know exactly what they are. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's really quite a clean car. They even so much as went and allowed the hood to open. Now, as a fan of the Corvette, I will give this a little knock that the hood's supposed to open the other way, but given that it's actually part of the transformation, it's probably more of a, hey, we need these to move for transformation, let's go ahead and throw in some engine details in there. So I can't really complain too much about it. In the box, you also get this little blaster piece here, and we're not going to make any crude jokes about it. It just kind of clips in here, and it's really for flight mode, just like that. But we'll leave it in here just for now. You also get a stand here, and let me loosen this. It's pretty good here with the range of motion and articulation here, so you can get quite a few poses out of the actual vehicle. It's very tight. Ratchets down at the bottom. Like, it doesn't even feel right, but I don't know. So far, it doesn't look like anything's going to break. Nice Tampa-graphed Autobot symbol there. Vaguely in the shape of an Autobot logo. I don't know. Would have been cool to make that happen. Looks like they just released some ones that are coming out that are going to be more Autobot shaped. So let's put Trax here. Ignore his little gun here. He also comes with two other accessories. We've got Raoul and we've got Blaster. And let's take a look at Blaster here if we can get it to focus on him. Like, that is so well detailed for something so tiny. It really makes me wonder why they lack the detailing on these guys when they can do something like this just so fantastically. Yeah. Now, they do tout that you can put Blaster in the car. You can see his gun is stored there. It's either the gun or Blaster, not both. Another, I guess, very minor gripe I would have with this is that Raoul is completely out of scale with the car. Yeah, I know cars are much bigger than human beings, but it's really not that big of a difference. But whatever, the humans are all scaled for, you know, whatever. Here's Ultra Magnus's humans. This is Mushface Spike and Mushface Daniel. And while I kind of give these Mushface guys a little bit of a gripe, on the other hand, like, they're recognizable. I know who they are. They're good enough. So I really would like to see more of these types of things show up in the Masterpiece line. Now, some people are going to like the fact that Masterpiece Spike and Daniel can bend knees and sit inside the cab, and to me that's just not all that important. I like the fact that this guy actually has a stand, and, you know, I don't have to worry about him falling over. Make a pretty good game piece for a Transformers board game, that's all I can say. And just for comparison, here's Dr. Wu partners, companion, whatever it is. Yeah, see, like, she's standing right now, but it's real hard to make her stand, and if she had a base, it would be better. And, like, she's just kind of out of place when you have all these mush face people and she's so detailed. So Dr. Wu either needs to make a complete set, or, you know, Takara needs to keep making mush faces, preferably with a stand, just like this. So before we go on to his flight mode here, I just wanted to bring out for comparison, here is a one of the Lamborghinis, and you can see just how much wider it is, about the same overall length. But I do feel that that is fairly accurate to the car. Lamborghini's fairly wide car. The Corvette is more sleek. And I don't have MP10 handy still, but here is your Ultra Magnus, and, you know, I think that still looks pretty good together. So let's get Trax to his flying mode here, which is part of the way you need to do to get him to his robot mode, sort of. We'll start by rotating out these wings, and for reference, mine were super tight. I actually had to put some shock oil in the cracks here to try to get them to turn real good. I was afraid they were going to snap, and I did take this out, so let's go ahead and put that back here real quick. Just pegs in like that. So we take this, and then the next part is to unpeg the front of the car like so. And then we'll take the arms here, rotate them all the way out, which is, you can see that blue joint that is in there. Just fold that like that and unbend the elbow. From here, make sure that these two side pieces slide all the way out. And let's adjust the camera upward just a little bit here, just so we can make this easier to make sure you're seeing. Now, next part, you take these blue pieces, and these are completely here only for the actual transformation to the flying car mode, and they kind of hinge down like that, and then the arms hinge up like this. Now you're going to take the actual arm assembly, rotate it around so the yellow piece is up. I always move these things in the process. And this tab plugs into this slot right here, which can be a little bit difficult to pull off, but it seems to get easier every time I do it. So again, we'll do the same thing for this side. Fold it down, hold the wheel and rotate the arm, and plug it on in right like that. So that's pretty much the basis of the flying car. Now we're going to come in here, we're going to take these wings, just kind of fold them out and out of the way for now, and take the back bumper of the car and kind of rotate it around like so, just like this. And while we have this here, this is the best time to reach in here and push up these little fins, which are pretty cool. They're not super well hidden in vehicle mode. I mean, you can still kind of see the outlines of the red, but it's really not that bad. And yeah, pretty cool they hid it in there. And normally this type of gimmick's not really something I care much about, but this is one of the things Masterpiece tends to do, is as the things that kind of, you know, you saw in the TV show at some point, whether it was used a lot or not, and incorporates it in. So, you know, as much as I may not like the gimmick, you know, I'm glad it's here. So now we're going to take these wings here and flip them the other way, just like that, so it's the right direction. And it looks like, what's weird is they have a little tab on the wing on both sides, and as far as I see, it doesn't tab in anywhere. Just kind of sits on the side here, just like that. You kind of got the flying car, and then you're pretty much free to do whatever you want with these. I believe the instructions officially tell you to kind of keep them inwards like this, like so. And I believe this piece actually is intended to now not go all the way around. I can never remember where exactly the back piece is supposed to be in the car mode, but I do know that the back is supposed to look like that. I'm not a huge fan of how this ends up looking when it's like that. Just that big wide open gap. So I'd almost prefer to kind of put them on the side here, which, you know, like I said, you can do whatever you want, but to me that looks a little bit more like a thruster or something, and kind of fills in that gap at least a little. But we'll put it back how I believe it's supposed to be, just like this. Here we go. And transforming them into this mode, you can see we've revealed that peg hole, which now lets us take our stand here like this, and there we go. We got him in his flying car mode, and like I said, it's a pretty good stand, so you can do quite a few things with him, and he does pretty darn good holding a position and looking pretty good while doing so. So to take him from his flight mode to the vehicle mode, or at least the rest of the way from here, you can pretty much just start by unpegging everything you did, flip these little things down, and we'll open up this back piece again and get these little bits for the missiles and just kind of leave them over on each side, just like this. And again, this is one of those things that, you know, you may prefer how it looks one way versus another, and you're free to go ahead and do it whichever way makes you most happy. So we'll leave that like this. Actually, let's see if we can make it happen yet. Get this out of the way and spin this on around, because we're going to need it to face that way anyway when we're done. So go ahead, undo these little blue hinges here, just like so. And what these are going to do is actually swivel up like this, and we'll probably have to readjust it when we actually get to his robot mode. Now this to me is his kind of masterpiece moment. So his hand is here, you can see it in there. You take this little intake type assembly and rotate it down like that, and I think it's just really quite smart how they made it. So you still get that scoop, and then that scoop goes to actually just fill in the arm for the most part. I mean, there's still a little bit of a hollow there, but to me that's like, you know, that's one of those little masterpiece tricks that makes me go, ooh, that was cool. So he definitely has his moment, like Bumblebee's tuck away of the hood. I think that was well engineered. So you got that on both sides here, and we'll come to the bottom of the car here. Let's get this gun out of here. And I was just lifting up the glass there, basically. Down here, this was real tough to deal with the first time, and you can see everything's coming apart. This was so stuck in there that it was ridiculous. Fortunately, now it's stuck there just enough that I actually end up getting every piece popped apart here. So that's okay with me now. But we'll take this, we'll open up these side panels here, flip these down, and I forgot to mention the mirrors were something that you have to cut off a sprue and insert, and for mine they just fell out, so I just flat out glued them in. But anyway, rotate these like this, and they give you 2 pairs of mirrors too. So if you lose a pair, you have a spare, but you know, why lose a pair when you can just glue it on in? But anyway, take those doors, fold them up, and as you can see, you take the door piece and fold it all the way around, and it does plug right into his back with just enough room given the mirrors there. So from the back piece here, let's just make sure that we have this part clearing it, and you bring it down, and there's tabs here, and they're designed to fit into these slots on either side here. Well, I say either side, but it's on both sides. Just like that, which is a little point of contention for some people. I always then push this little blue piece down as best as I can, just to kind of closing it up. I feel like a little more could have been done to bring it forward, but I don't think that it looks too terrible just like that. So now we'll come up to the head here, rotate this open. You can see we've got plenty of room to actuate the little thumb press here, and this comes up, and you want to make sure that the tabs on the top here slot into the ones on the side of the arms here. So if they're not fitting, you know, make sure you have the arms pushed all the way up, and hopefully you didn't undo your backpack like I just did. There we go, just like that, and we can flip out the Autobot logo on the front. So we're done with the top of the bot. We're going to come around to his waist, flip this around just like so, and everything is still loose here from messing with it earlier. Open the hood up and hinge it on down and back closed again. So up, hinge it down and closed. It is a little bit of a scary joint there, but so far nothing feels like it's really going to break. Just something to be aware of. Next, with this out of the way, you can start rotating this body panel around and take the foot and kind of work it all the way around while you're doing so. So it looks kind of like that. Next, you'll take this assembly here, rotate it all the way around and rotate it up like so. But before you can finish that, you want to take this piece and rotate it in, and then you can finish it just like that. Now we'll take this piece here, flip it all the way around, and peg it on in. So there we go, there's his foot. So we'll do that again on this side to show you, and also because we have to. So we'll take that, rotate the foot all the way around and up, take this piece, rotate it all the way around like so. Flip the foot, which this is tight on mine too. There we go. It's like it doesn't want to give, and then when it does, it just shoots over almost entirely. There we go. And then just close that up. And there we go. We've got our tracks here in his robot mode. We'll just go ahead and kind of make him look a little bit nicer. And put our backpack here right back in the place it's supposed to be. That way we can get these wings behind the arms here. And there we go. There's Tracks. And I think he looks good. I mean, I like the character of Tracks. And I don't really feel disappointed by this. There's a little bit of some hindrances here, as you can tell, but overall, I like it. This is a big object of contention for some, but for me, it really doesn't bother me. His pistol here, as you can see, it's just one solid cast piece. We can take this and, of course, just slot it right into his hands, as you would expect. I think he looks good. I mean, he definitely looks like Tracks. He feels like Tracks. I have no complaints. The head is on a ball joint here, which is very hard to use given that his head wants to rotate in. I suppose we could have used something to lock that. Coming to the arms here. The arms are... Oops, this one came undone over on this side. There we go. The arms are on a swivel up here, but you can see that the wing gets in the way quite a bit. It does have a hinge joint out here, which is nice. You do have a bicep swivel, a nice ratcheted elbow, so things aren't going to fall. The hands are on a swivot. That's a swivel and a pivot combined. You do have the articulated combined fingers, which is just fine with me. Waist for our transformation there, with a little bit of forward back that is provided by this joint here that I don't really understand why it's there. I guess it's to try to make things easier. You do have this articulated hip armor in case you do want to get those extreme poses out of him, but even when it's there, you still get, you know, pretty decent range of motion. But if you do want the extremes, you certainly can. You do have a thigh swivel here, only hampered by the cut of the thigh at the top there, but overall pretty good. The knee is obviously a little less than 90, and then the foot transformation, you get a little bit of the in and out on it, and you do have a side-to-side pivot built in, which is pretty nice too. So for a size comparison, Tracks is one of the taller MP cars here. Here he is next to the Red Alert and Bumblebee. But you know what? I think that works. Tracks always did strike me as a little bit more of a tall, lanky type. So I think that does look okay. So let's get him transformed back to his vehicle mode and let's get out of here. I'll start with the Autobot logo because that's something I always tend to forget. And we'll basically go in pretty well the reverse order that we did everything else. So we'll start by separating the feet here, which when you try to get this panel open, it can be a little bit difficult. So just be aware of that. But flip the front of the car closed up here, just like so. Flip this around. Flip the front body panel all the way around here and fold the foot in the process, just like so. And then peg it all in together, just like that. And there we go. That leg is done and ready to go. We'll do it to the other side here. Again, find a place to grip this, separate it, flip it. Well, we won't flip it yet. We'll flip the front of the car open. Flip this around like so. Now we can flip it all the way around and the foot at the same time. And peg this together. And then go ahead and take the hood, fold it up and closed, and then everything here can just peg right together in the front, and hopefully everything lines up and looks nice. You should have a little bit of an angle on the foot to accommodate or the leg to accommodate the foot, and that's how you'll know it's right. So we got that. We'll go ahead and we'll flip this around so it's at the top, and instead of putting this in here, we'll take our MP blaster. I guess it's the official MP blaster, right? So we'll take that. We'll unclip the backpack here, just like so. Get that loose. Open this up. Just like that, and it does clip in with those tabs, so it can be a little bit stubborn. Put the head down like so, and kind of change that position so it's forward, and we'll take our little MP blaster, and the directions show him right here on this little piece here, but there's no real place for that to clip there. Really, the best way to clip it seems to be in the same spot as the gun. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Yeah, it doesn't seem to clip there. So they do tell you to clip it down here, but it doesn't actually hold. Yeah, it just kind of sits there. Well, make a liar out of me. It is holding, but I didn't think it did. The vehicle mode certainly. I guess we could put it in this way. Yeah, I guess it does kind of hold. I didn't realize that. To me, every time I put it in, it's fallen out. So, color me surprised. There we go. See, it's falling out. Forget it. We're just gonna finish this up and not worry about putting blaster in the car. Anyway, bring that window piece all the way forward, just like so. We'll come back to his back here. Get these hands out of the way. Unclip the doors here and rotate them all the way down and around and up, and just make sure you fold them up. Actually, we should not put this there until we have this all folded closed, like so. So we'll do that again on this side. Bring this down, around, and up. Now we can go ahead and fold this closed, just like so. And we're onto the arms. You take the arms, fold them down here like this, push the little center pieces in, just like that. Bring these on down, so they're looking more like wheels again. Onto the arms here, you bend them at this blue piece here, and then you bend this all the way around, and bring it. Well, before we bring it up, let's actually go ahead and get the little fin back out. Rotate this around and rotate this up so it takes as little room as you can. Then fold it up just like so. And you can see you have a tab there and a hole and a tab and a hole. So obviously get them lined up and put them together just like that. Fold this closed, fold this around, fold it up, and bring it right on in here. And then you can push the wheels to kind of push this together and use the top piece here, and you pretty much got it in. Now we'll take this around. We'll bring these back down here, like so. Bring this around and up, which leaves these behind usually, so you have to bring them too. And rotate them so they actually fit right up there in the trunk type area. Then bring this down and around, down and around. And we can take this, bring this over everything, and collapse it down, and everything pretty well likes to peg itself in nicely. And you can now take these, fold them around and down. And actually, you know what? Those little tabs that I saw here, I just noticed that they peg into the arms here. They just don't do it super well. The wings do sit there quite nicely, so they don't really need to tab in. But I just noticed that. But there you go. He's back to his vehicle mode. And overall, I think he's a great MP. I don't think he's Wheeljack level. I think Wheeljack is my favorite MP car at this point. But I think he's at least on par with the Lamborghinis and the Datsuns. Like, they all have certain little things. Like, for instance, this guy is a little bit too wide. I mean, you can kind of make that same complaint about the backpack of tracks. I mean, even when you look here, I can see right through this one, but it never really bothered anybody until you see it on Trax's back. So, I don't know. I don't have the complaints about him like everybody else seems to have. I think if you're a Masterpiece collector, he is a solid pickup, and I think he is just as good as what came before him, save for Wheeljack at this point. So, yeah, pretty easy, intuitive transformation, pretty fun, pretty good looking. I'm looking forward to see what they do with Ironhide. But honestly, that one does kind of scare me. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next time.